You finally come out of the doctor's office. Prescription in hand, tests advised, warnings given, and you feel relieved. You think, good, I've seen the doctor. My job is done. But listen carefully. For millions of seniors, the real damage doesn't happen inside the clinic. It happens after they walk out. At home, in silence, in small, careless decisions. Appeal skipped, advice ignored, symptoms brushed aside, a report left unread, and slowly, health slips away. Doctors don't fail seniors. Habits do. In real life, most hospital emergencies don't start suddenly. They start with sentences like, I felt fine, so I didn't follow it seriously. I thought one day wouldn't matter. I didn't want to bother anyone. If you're over 50 or if you care about someone who is, this video can literally change outcomes. Because today, I'm exposing the most dangerous things you must never do after returning from a doctor's office. Mistakes many seniors repeat again and again without realizing the cost. Some of these mistakes cancel the doctor's treatment, some silently worsen diseases, and some shorten lives. So before you move forward, hit the like button. It helps this message reach people who need it. Subscribe if you value truth that protects your health, not sugar-coated lies. Now listen carefully, because what you do after the appointment matters more than the appointment itself. 1. Ignoring the doctor's words once you feel better. This is not just a mistake. This is the most silent, most common, and most dangerous decision seniors make, and almost nobody talks about it. The moment the pain reduces, the moment the dizziness fades, the moment sleep improves even a little, a dangerous thought enters the mind. Maybe it wasn't that serious after all. You start believing the problem is gone, when in reality, it has only gone quiet. This is how most health disasters begin, not with pain, but with relief. A senior wakes up one morning and realizes the chest heaviness isn't there anymore. The headache hasn't returned. The sugar levels feel normal, so they quietly decide to reduce a pill, skip a dose, delay a walk, ignore dietary advice. After all, why continue something that feels unnecessary? But the body doesn't work on feelings. It works on process. Blood pressure doesn't announce itself when it's damaging arteries. Diabetes doesn't scream when it's destroying nerves and kidneys. Heart disease doesn't warn you while it's quietly narrowing vessels. These conditions don't attack loudly. They wait. Feeling better is not the finish line. It is proof that the treatment is holding the disease back. Stopping early is like lowering your guard, because the enemy stopped shooting. The threat didn't leave. It simply learned patience. Doctors see this pattern again and again. A patient follows everything for 2 weeks, feels normal, and stops. 3 months later, they return not walking in, but being rushed in. The disease hasn't returned slowly. It has returned angry, resistant, and harder to control. And the most heartbreaking part? When asked why they stopped, the answer is always the same. I thought I was fine. This belief doesn't come from ignorance. It comes from false comfort. Seniors often grow up believing strength means enduring quietly and not depending on medicines. They fear long-term treatment. They worry about being a burden, so they convince themselves that stopping early is bravery. But this isn't strength. This is self-betrayal. Lifestyle advice is the first thing to go. Salt creeps back into meals. Walks become optional. Sleep routines break. Stress is ignored. And medicines once taken with discipline become occasional. Slowly, silently, the disease rebuilds itself. And when it returns, it doesn't ask permission. It comes back stronger, faster, and less forgiving. What could have been managed easily now requires more pills, stronger doses, hospital visits, and fear. This is why doctors don't say, take this until you feel okay. They say, complete the course, follow the plan, change the habit, because they know something seniors often don't want to accept. Feeling better is not recovery. Consistency is recovery. If you're over 50, understand this deeply. The body doesn't heal because you hope. It heals because you continue. The day you feel better is not the day to stop listening. It is the day to listen even more carefully. Because stopping early doesn't just bring the disease back, it brings it back with consequences. 2. Not reading the prescription properly. This mistake doesn't look dangerous. There's no pain, no warning sign, no immediate reaction. That's why it destroys health quietly. Many seniors believe experience replaces attention. They think, I've taken medicines all my life. I know how this works. So they rely on memory, or worse, assumption. They glance at the prescription once, fold it, put it in a pocket, and never look at it again. This looks like the same tablet as last time. This doctor probably meant the usual. I'll take it after breakfast like I always do. And in that moment, treatment begins to fail. A prescription is not a suggestion. It is precision. Timing, dosage, and method are not written to fill space. They exist because the medicine interacts with your body in exact ways. One pill before food protects the stomach lining. One pill after food prevents irritation. One pill at night works with your body's natural rhythm. Change the timing and you don't just reduce the benefit, you rewrite the chemistry. Some medicines, when taken on an empty stomach, burn the stomach wall slowly. Seniors then complain of acidity, nausea, and weakness, never realizing the medicine itself became the problem. Other medicines lose power if taken with food. The body absorbs less. The disease stays active. The patient thinks the medicine isn't working, when in reality, it was never taken correctly. And then there are the dangerous ones. Blood pressure pills taken twice instead of once. Diabetes medicines mixed up. Sleep tablets taken in the morning by mistake. These aren't rare accidents. They happen every day. Doctors see seniors admitted with complications that didn't come from disease but from misunderstanding. When asked, the answer is always casual. I thought it was the same. I forgot what he said. I didn't read carefully. That casualness costs months of recovery. There is also a psychological trap here. Seniors often don't want to ask questions. They fear looking slow, dependent, or troublesome. So they nod, smile, and leave confused. At home, confusion turns into guessing. Guessing turns into routine. Routine turns into risk. A prescription is not just paper. It is a survival map. Every word on it exists because someone studied the interaction between your age, your condition, your organs, and your limits. Ignoring it is not independence. It is gambling with your body. And here's the most dangerous part. The damage doesn't show immediately. The stomach damage builds silently. The organ stress accumulates. The disease stays partially untreated. By the time symptoms appear, the cause is forgotten. This is why seniors must slow down after every doctor visit. Sit, read, reread. Ask your doctor. Ask the pharmacist. Ask a family member. There is no shame in clarity. There is only danger in assumption. Because medicines don't forgive carelessness. They either work with discipline or they punish misunderstanding. And in health, small mistakes don't stay small for long. 3. Skipping tests because they feel fine. This mistake feels harmless. It sounds logical. It even sounds responsible. I feel fine. Those 3 words have delayed more diagnoses than any disease ever could. Doctors don't order tests casually. They don't enjoy sending seniors to labs, clinics, or scanners. Tests are ordered because the body lies and numbers don't. Pain is not the first sign of most serious illnesses. It is often the last. Seniors often walk out of the doctor's office with a list of tests and a heavy feeling in the chest, not from illness, but from avoidance. Let's do it later. It's expensive. I don't want to know. I'm okay anyway. So the paper goes into a drawer. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And during that time, the disease doesn't pause. High blood pressure quietly thickens artery walls. Diabetes silently damages nerves and kidneys. Heart issues progress without pain. Cancer grows without symptoms. Feeling fine does not mean being fine. It often means being unaware. Doctors use tests to see what the body hides behind normal days, regular meals, and routine smiles. A blood report doesn't care how strong you feel. It reveals what's happening beneath the surface. This is where denial becomes dangerous. Many seniors believe that not testing means not worrying. They think avoiding results avoids stress, but stress delayed is stress multiplied. There are countless real-life stories that start the same way. I had the test advised, but I felt okay. By the time I did it, it was already advanced. If only I had known earlier. A simple blood test could have detected early warning signs. A scan could have caught a problem while it was still manageable. Instead, the diagnosis arrives late when treatment becomes aggressive, expensive, and frightening. Late diagnosis is not just a medical issue. It's an emotional earthquake. Suddenly, families panic. Decisions become rushed. Options become limited. What could have been handled calmly now becomes a fight. And the cruel irony? Seniors don't skip tests because they don't care. They skip tests because they hope. Hope that nothing is wrong. Hope that feeling okay means being safe. Hope that time will be kind. But disease doesn't respond to hope. It responds to detection. Tests don't create problems. They reveal them early, when you still have power. Skipping a test doesn't make you brave. It makes the disease invisible. And invisible enemies always strike harder. If you're over 50, understand this truth clearly. Your body can feel normal while silently breaking down. The test you postpone today becomes the regret you carry tomorrow. Early knowledge brings control. Late knowledge brings fear. So the next time a doctor hands you a test prescription, don't see it as trouble. See it as a chance to act early, a chance to protect your future, a chance to stay in control while you still can. Because health doesn't collapse in one day. It collapses slowly behind the sentence. I felt fine. 4. Not discussing side effects openly. This mistake doesn't look dramatic. There's no emergency, no hospital rush, just quiet suffering. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Many seniors live with symptoms they never mention. Dizziness when standing, a heaviness in the head, weakness that makes climbing stairs feel harder than it should, sleep that breaks every 2 hours, digestion that never feels right, a constant feeling that something is off. But instead of speaking, they normalize it. It's normal at this age. It will settle on its own. I don't want to bother the doctor. So they stay silent. This silence slowly erodes health. Doctors don't see what you don't say. They don't feel what you hide. Treatment isn't adjusted because nothing appears wrong on paper. But inside the body, something is going wrong. A medicine may be too strong. A dosage may need change. A drug may be reacting badly with another. These are not failures of medicine. They are signals. But signals only work when they're heard. Many seniors confuse endurance with strength. They believe suffering quietly is maturity. They think complaining is weakness. They fear being labeled difficult, dependent, or dramatic. So they choose silence. And silence turns side effects into long-term damage. Dizziness leads to falls. Poor sleep leads to heart strain. Digestive issues lead to malnutrition. Constant weakness leads to loss of confidence and independence. All because someone didn't say one sentence, "I don't feel right after this medicine." Doctors rely on feedback. Medicine is not static. It is adjusted based on how your body responds. But when you hide symptoms, the doctor assumes everything is fine, and the treatment continues unchanged while your body struggles. There are heartbreaking real-life moments that follow this pattern. A senior collapses due to low blood pressure caused by medication they never mentioned made them dizzy. Another stops eating properly because digestion became painful, but they never spoke up. Sleep medicines create confusion and memory loss, but silence allows the problem to grow. When finally asked, the answer comes softly. "I felt it for weeks. I just didn't say anything." That delay costs stability. It costs safety. Sometimes it costs years of quality life. Suffering quietly does not make you resilient. It makes your suffering invisible. And invisible problems don't get treated. Doctors want to help, but they need information. They need honesty. They need you to speak even when it feels uncomfortable. Your discomfort is data. Your experience is evidence. Your words guide the treatment. If you are over 50, hear this clearly. You are not troubling the doctor by speaking. You are protecting yourself. Strength is not silence. Strength is communication. The bravest thing a senior can do is say, "This medicine is affecting me," because when you speak, treatment evolves. When you stay silent, the problem deepens. And no one should suffer in silence, especially when relief is one conversation away. 5. Listening to neighbors more than doctors. This mistake doesn't come from carelessness. It comes from trust placed in the wrong hands. A senior returns home after a doctor visit, prescription in hand. Before the first dose is even completed, voices start coming in. "Why are you taking so many pills?" "My cousin stopped that medicine and he's fine." "Doctors only want to sell medicines. Try this home remedy. It's natural." And slowly, professional treatment begins to collapse. This is one of the fastest ways progress gets destroyed. Neighbors mean well. Relatives care. Friends want to help. But good intentions don't equal good advice. Medical care is not built on stories. It is built on diagnosis, data, and difference. Everybody carries a different history, different organs, different tolerances, different risks. What helped someone else might harm you deeply. A blood pressure pill that stabilized one person might drop another's pressure dangerously low. A home remedy that worked for someone else might react badly with your medication. A medicine stopped suddenly on advice can trigger rebound effects stronger than the original disease. Doctors don't guess. They evaluate. They look at age, weight, test reports, other conditions, drug interactions. A neighbor sees none of that. They see only their own experience and assume it applies to you. That assumption is dangerous. Seniors often trust neighbors because it feels familiar. Doctors feel distant. Medical terms feel complicated. But familiarity does not equal accuracy. This is where emotional pressure becomes lethal. "You don't need this. Why depend on pills? At your age, what's the point?" These sentences don't sound harmful, but they quietly plant doubt. Doubt leads to skip doses. Skip doses lead to relapse. Relapse leads to emergency. Doctors see patients return worse not because treatment failed, but because it was interrupted by outside voices. And when asked why, the answer is often whispered with regret. "Someone told me to stop." Medical advice is not democratic. It is not decided by majority opinion. It is personal. Your treatment is written for your body, not for your neighborhood. There is also a deeper emotional layer here. Many seniors don't want to appear weak or dependent. When someone suggests an easy alternative, it feels empowering. It feels like control. But control without knowledge is illusion. Real control comes from understanding and consistency, not shortcuts. Home remedies, alternative advice, and shared experiences can complement care, but never replace professional judgment. The moment you let unqualified voices override your doctor, you hand your health to chance. And chance is not kind to aging bodies. If you are over 50, remember this truth clearly. Your health is too valuable to be decided by stories. Listen to people who studied your condition, not those who survived something unrelated. Well-meaning advice can still destroy progress. Trust expertise. Protect your treatment. Respect your body's uniqueness. Because when health is lost, the neighbors won't fix it. The doctor will. 6. Failing to change lifestyle because medicines are enough. This mistake feels reasonable. After all, you're taking the pills. You're following the prescription. So everything should be fine, right? This belief has quietly sabotaged more recoveries than missed doses ever could. Medicines help, but they don't replace how you live. They support the body. They don't carry it. Many seniors take their tablets faithfully and then return to the same habits that created the problem in the first place. Late nights, broken sleep, heavy meals, long hours of sitting, constant stress, no movement, no routine. Then they wait for pills to do the impossible. This is not treatment. This is hope without effort. Doctors treat disease, but habits decide whether it stays away. A blood pressure pill can lower numbers, but poor sleep raises them again. A diabetes medicine can control sugar, but careless eating pushes it back up. A heart medicine can protect, but inactivity weakens the system it's trying to save. Pills fight on one side, your lifestyle fights on the other, and your body is caught in between. This is why doctors repeatedly emphasize sleep, diet, movement, and stress, not because they enjoy lecturing, but because they've seen the pattern. Patients who change habits recover faster, need fewer medicines, and live with stability. Patients who rely only on pills return again and again, each time with stronger medication and fewer options. The body doesn't heal in compartments. It heals as a system. Ignoring sleep is especially destructive. Seniors often sleep late, wake up tired, nap irregularly, and call it normal aging. But poor sleep keeps the nervous system in a constant state of alert. Healing doesn't happen there. Eating carelessly adds another layer of damage. Heavy dinners, excess salt, sugary comfort foods. Just this once becomes every day. Medicines try to correct the imbalance, but habits recreate it daily. Then there is movement. Many seniors avoid it not because they can't move, but because they fear discomfort. But avoiding movement weakens muscles, slows circulation, worsens insulin resistance, and increases joint pain. Ironically, inactivity creates the very problems movement would prevent. And stress, often ignored, often dismissed, silently poisons recovery. Worry, unresolved anger, financial tension, loneliness. Medicines don't erase stress hormones. Lifestyle does. There are countless real-life situations where seniors say, "I take all my medicines, but nothing improves." What they don't realize is this: the medicine is doing its job. The lifestyle is undoing it. Recovery is not passive. It is participation. Doctors give you tools. You must build the protection. Expecting pills to fix everything is like watering a plant while keeping it in darkness. The effort is there, but the environment kills growth. If you're over 50, understand this deeply. Health doesn't return because of tablets alone. It returns when daily choices support healing. Every good night's sleep is medicine. Every mindful meal is medicine. Every step taken is medicine. Every moment of calm is medicine. Pills assist recovery. Habits decide survival. And the sooner this truth is accepted, the fewer pills you'll need and the stronger you'll feel. 7. Not scheduling the follow-up visit. This mistake feels harmless. In fact, it feels logical. You've already seen the doctor. You're taking the medicines. So what's left to do? For many seniors, the follow-up visit feels optional, like an extra step that can be skipped once things seem stable. But stability without confirmation is illusion. Doctors don't schedule follow-ups out of habit. They do it because the first visit is only a starting point, not a conclusion. The body doesn't always respond the way medicine predicts. Some treatments work perfectly, some partially. Some create side effects. Some reveal deeper problems only after time passes. Follow-ups exist to read those signals. Without them, treatment moves blindly. Skipping a follow-up is like beginning a long journey, driving for hours, and refusing to check whether you're still on the right road. You might feel confident, but one wrong turn quietly takes you far from safety. Many seniors stop coming back because they feel good enough. The pain reduced. The symptoms softened. Life feels normal again. So they cancel the appointment, delay it, forget it. What they don't realize is that improvement doesn't always mean recovery. Blood pressure may look controlled but be unstable. Sugar levels may fluctuate silently. Heart rhythms may change without symptoms. Medications may be working but at a cost the body hasn't revealed yet. Follow-ups detect what comfort hides. Doctors use them to adjust doses, stop unnecessary medicines, prevent complications, and confirm that healing is real, not temporary. When follow-ups are skipped, small issues grow quietly. A dosage that's too strong keeps stressing the organs. A medication that's no longer needed keeps being taken. A warning sign goes unnoticed until it becomes unavoidable. This is why many emergencies don't come from sudden illness but from lack of monitoring. Seniors often say, "If something goes wrong, I'll go then." But health doesn't announce decline loudly. It deteriorates silently. By the time symptoms force a visit, the problem has already matured. There is also emotional exhaustion behind this mistake. Hospitals feel tiring. Appointments feel repetitive. Seniors don't want to feel like patients forever, so they disengage. hoping normal life means safety. But health doesn't maintain itself on hope. It requires awareness. A follow-up visit is not bad news. It is protection. It is the difference between controlling a condition and chasing it. Doctors can't protect what they can't track, and seniors who disappear after the first visit often return later, not walking in, but being rushed in with conditions that could have been adjusted early. Health is not a one-time conversation. It is an ongoing relationship with your body. If you are over 50, understand this clearly. The follow-up is not a formality. It is a checkpoint. Skipping it doesn't save time. It costs control. And control, once lost, is hard to regain. Stay visible to your doctor. Stay aware of your body, because continuous care prevents sudden crisis. 8. Carrying fear instead of clarity. This mistake doesn't begin in the body. It begins in the mind. Some seniors leave the doctor's office with medicines in their hand but fear in their chest. They sit at home replaying every word the doctor said. They overthink every symptom. They search the internet late at night. They imagine the worst before anything has actually happened. And slowly, fear becomes the illness. Fear tightens the chest. Fear disturbs sleep. Fear raises blood pressure. Fear weakens digestion. Fear keeps the body in constant alarm. Healing cannot happen in panic. But many seniors confuse fear with responsibility. They think worrying means being careful. In reality, worry without understanding only exhausts the nervous system. Instead of asking questions, they stay silent. Instead of seeking clarity, they assume danger. Instead of understanding their condition, they fear it. This is how confusion multiplies. A harmless medical term sounds like a death sentence. A routine test feels like a final verdict. A normal side effect feels like a collapse. The body responds to the mind. When the mind stays in fear, the body never relaxes. Muscles remain tense. Hormones stay imbalanced. Immunity weakens. Recovery slows. Doctors know this. That's why they encourage questions. But many seniors don't ask. They fear sounding ignorant. They don't want to seem weak. They assume they'll figure it out later. Later becomes loneliness with worry. Fear thrives in silence. Clarity destroys it. Understanding what the medicine does. Understanding what symptoms are normal. Understanding what needs attention and what doesn't. This knowledge doesn't just inform, it calms. A calm body heals faster. A calm mind processes pain better. A calm nervous system supports recovery. There are countless cases where seniors worsen not because of disease, but because of constant anxiety. They check their pulse obsessively. They scan their body for danger. They live in anticipation of bad news. That state alone damages health. Knowledge, on the other hand, gives control. When you know what's happening, fear loses power. Asking questions is not weakness. Writing doubts is not overthinking. Seeking clarity is not fear, it is intelligence. Doctors don't expect you to know everything. They expect you to understand enough to stay stable. If you don't understand something, ask again. If you forget, write it down. If you're unsure, clarify. Your peace of mind is part of treatment. If you are over 50, understand this deeply. Fear will never protect you. Clarity will. Your body listens to your thoughts. Feed it understanding, not panic. Because the calmest patients often recover the best, not because they are luckier, but because they are informed. And informed minds heal stronger bodies. As we conclude, the doctor's office is where treatment begins, but your home is where health is decided. If you're over 50, remember this. Carelessness after a doctor visit costs more than carelessness before it. Share this video with someone you love, because awareness today prevents regret tomorrow. And if this message resonated, subscribe. Your future self will thank you.